My name is Judy Stewart, and I work with Center for Excellence of Education, Outreach, and Special Projects, and I'm delighted that you have joined us and taken some time out of your day to have a conversation with us about the Center's programs for exceptional students in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. I am joined today by Kathy Frame, Michelle King, and Maite Ballestero, and they will share a little bit with you and receive your questions. And we hope to have a dialogue about the programs and our effort to reach more students, particularly students from underrepresented populations, and get them inspired and exposed to what we have to offer. All of the programs are cost-free to students. Let me share just a little bit about how we'll go forward. Maite will speak first, followed by Kathy and Michelle. We'll take questions in between in the chat box. Our conversation today is being recorded. The Center for Excellence in Education is a nonprofit organization. It was founded in 1983. Our mission, as you can see at the bottom, is to nurture high school and university students in STEM leadership and to encourage collaboration between and among leaders in the global community. All of our programs are cost-free to students, and we also have a program that is for teachers, particularly serving urban and rural communities. We'll be talking about the Research Science Institute and the USA Biology Olympiad, USABO. But again, if you'd like to learn more about our teacher enrichment program for educators, please do not hesitate to reach out to me, Judy Stewart, after the call, or just put something in the chat box and we'll get that information to you as well. The center was founded by U.S. Admiral A.G. Rickover, who was the father of the U.S. Nuclear Navy, and Joanne DeGennaro, who serves as the president of Center for Excellence in Education. We are based in Northern Virginia in McLean. And with that, I'd like to turn it over so we can jump right into programming and hear first from Maite Ballestero, who will speak about the Research Science Institute. Maite, take it away.
Thank you so much, Judy, and thank you to all of you out there for joining us with you in hopes that you will share this information with your students and partner with us as we move our journey forward with our programs. So the Research Science Institute, a mouthful, RSI, has been in session since 1984, and it is currently in partnership with MIT on their campus. Each year during the summer, typically the end of June until the beginning of August, top performing students, 50 of them from the United States, are joined by 30 international top performers on campus. So this past summer, we took the leap and we went virtual and did not change our content, and it was very, very well received. A little bit about the history of the collaboration of the RSI program. To date, CEE has welcomed and worked with over 55 countries, which is very exciting. And some of the RSI programs are mirrored currently in Bulgaria, Israel, Singapore, and Saudi Arabia. And being a STEM organization, we have looked at the numbers once our students graduate from us, go on to college, go on to grad school, and start careers. Nearly 80% have STEM degrees of one kind or another, and use those degrees even if they are not working in traditional research labs. In addition, RSI alumni receive top prizes in US and international competitions like the USABO, other Olympiads, and the highly acclaimed Regeneron Science Talent Search and the International Science and Engineering Fair, just to name a few. Why RSI? It has a tremendous outreach, and it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for all of these scholars to begin their networking really young and to help each other, to meet each other. And one of the things that's interesting with RSI is that most of the people who are on staff or faculty running the program with me in the summer are in fact alumni. And a lot of the faculty members that teach for us are teaching at leading colleges and universities. So in the summer, what they do is a research project with a mentor based on mutual interest in whatever subject area they are not only proficient, but really interested in. Following the research, what happens during the summer, you will take classes the first week, start your research with your mentor, and there is a guest lecture series in the evening throughout the summer, and sometimes it features Nobel Prize winners, entrepreneurs, STEM and industry leaders. What is the alumni outreach doing? We guide them post-RSI through their undergraduate and graduate careers on the selection of their college of choice. Our staff writes recommendations for them to the college of their choice. And, you know, in the case that there's a little bit of a challenge getting in to where you want to go, we hit them hard. We have great partnerships with leading colleges and universities that you will see in a slide in the future. What is it that they're doing with their project? Well, they're going to work in the Cambridge area, but this summer, we were fortunate that it wasn't limited. It was global in nature. We were able to work with alumni and other colleagues all over the planet since we had to adopt the model to the virtual program. So they present their findings in front of an eminent panel of just scientists, the faculty, and guests. Students receive awards for their oral and written papers and talks, and those are 5 awards, and those are selected by a panel of judges and staff. And this picture that you saw a minute ago is one of our distinguished lecturers who's in the middle in a pink shirt. That's Pardis Sabeti at the Broad Institute, who is, you know, I would say the world's leading expert on the Ebola virus. That's just, you know, to name a few of the speakers and give you a little bit of a picture. This is the slide I referred to. To date, students attend Harvard and MIT in large numbers, and then everywhere else. If you want more information about that, I'm happy to share afterwards. And one of the things I should share with you is comments from a couple of the students over the summer. And I'm going to read to you what a couple of the students have said. Somebody said, RSI had a profound impact on me, both in personal and academic context. I not only learned and grew so much as a student through my research mentorship at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, but also made some really meaningful friendships that I hope to nurture in the future. And this is as a result of the virtual program. And one other student said, my experience in chemistry research was nothing short of exceptional. So you're hearing it from them, and I'm always happy to connect any student to another student who would like to know more about the experience. And now these are some of the key dates for the program. The 21 application will go live November 23rd. We will close it on the 16th of January. By March, they will hear if they have been selected or otherwise. And the program is slated, and I'm hoping and praying that we are in person at MIT from June 27th to August 7th. Thank you so much for your time, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Maite, we do have a question. So what students are eligible to apply to RSI?
Oh yes, I should have said that. Anyone who is currently a junior in high school.
Right, so the next program is the USA Biolympiad. Started in 2003 and continues now. We're moving up on our 18th year, all right, that we've had this particular competition. This is a scene from one of the national workshops where students are looking at dry ice. And this is the first time they actually get to have some lab experience, all right, that we know of in the program itself. Other than that, this is the schedule, and Michelle will tell you about the schedule right now.
So registration for the USABO is now open. So the teachers and the students can register to enter the competition. The registration will close on December 4th for students and December 11th for teachers and schools. And then payments of $95 per school will be due in January. And that $95 covers every student that's participating in the school, whether it be one student or 100 students.
Or 1,000.
1,000, yeah. We welcome 1,000 students.
So the goals of the USABO are aligned with those of the International Biology Olympiad, all right, of which we are considered one of the national Biolympiads of 80 around the world. It's to look at not only gifted biology students. This particular competition is for all students nationwide, right? What we've found is that students have hidden talents, all right, especially in the life sciences. And we encourage every student to take this exam. And what we found is they have a great pride in participating in that because it allows them to see how they stack up against other students around the country. And it's that curiosity. We do want to nurture that curiosity and empower them in the life sciences. The International Biology Olympiad is going on an extension this year where they're actually doing independent research projects with all the students that were part of the International Biology Olympiad Challenge, of course, that was virtual. And there are 50 teams. And on those 50 teams, they're represented with students from 4 different countries, and the mentor is from a different country, and then they have a professor from a different country. And they're right now in the stages of identifying that problem and beginning their research. In October, all of that research will be available online, either in a PowerPoint, a presentation, or a paper. So I encourage you to keep looking at the USABO site for that. Right. And so that goes right along with the next one. We encourage that international component. We have students working around the world, all right, who were part of the USABO and part of the International Biology Olympiad. And they don't necessarily have to go to the IBO to be part of that international competition. You'll find that our students, they connect back and forth just like students do and everywhere. They all have their networks, okay? So we have a USABO Facebook page. Some of the students have other pages that they share information on. And so you'll see that wonderful synergy with the kids here and across the world. And of course, into leadership and biology-based careers all over. We have them at the Broad, some with their own labs. It's amazing what these students are able to do and propel themselves in their careers. It is a, okay.
We had a question, Kathy. So the test will be online this year, and what will that look like?
It will look just like any online test, all right? It's going to be given at one time. The open is going to be on February 11th. It'll be at 4 p.m. Eastern time. We are working with Art of Problem Solving. That organization will actually be administering it. Students will receive the exam that'll be password protected. And then just as the time to start the exam comes, they'll receive a password to open it. Teachers will be proctoring. And then we also have developed, over the summer, I was fortunate to develop a proctoring system with 70 of our alums, where we did a combination of Google and Zoom. And that's open to people that, you know, teachers that don't have that capacity to do it. But that's what that's going to be. Long answer, but yes. All of our exams now will be online. So as far as the competition, the open exam, we have about 8,500 students. We have 10,000 that say they're going to do it, but we really have about 8,500 at most that actually take the exam. That's called down for the semifinal. The open exam is a 50-question exam taken over 50 minutes of time. The top 600 students go on to take what's called the semifinal, a much longer exam. It's 2 hours. It has 2 multiple choice components, one more challenging than the other, and then an essay component, where we take a look at what students' ability is to write, their mathematical skills, that sort of information. The top 20 students on that semifinal exam go on to the national finals. All right, the national finals is a 2-week training program. This year we held it all virtually. We had 130 Zoom sessions. We had the distinguished lecture series that Mike Tate talked about, invited professors. We even had a Nobel laureate come in and help the students. But plenty of, believe it or not, lab time and lecture time was provided to these students. During that time, they took a 6-hour theoretical exam, and then they went on to take 3 practical exams that were over a period of a day, almost the whole day. Out of that, 4 students were identified as the top Team USA. They call it the USA Biolympiad Team USA. They went on to the International Biology Challenge, which was also virtual, and the US came out with 3 gold medals and a silver medal.
And Kathy, we have a follow-up to the online exam question. So will the online exams, are they just for now, or will they be online in the future as well?
A plan is that they're going to be online in the future as well. Okay. This is one of the resource areas of the USABO that's available to teachers and to students. Each one of these, when you click on that, gives you links that pair up with the International Biology Olympiad curriculum. There are labs, there are lectures, there are talks, YouTubes, simulations, almost anything you can imagine, right, is there for students to use for studying. The next is the Student Resource Center. If you go to our regular webpage, it's called the Student Corner. Many of these things are already on the Student Corner, and they include links to, not the links to the IBO curriculum, but general study sources, books that USABO alums recommend, scientists they might know, fun sites that are recommended by the national finalists that they use to study for the finals and for the semifinal. Those are really used extensively. And the last one that we put on this year was a 2020 semifinal exam to show students and the public what type of information our students are responsible for, all right, on that. And the not only the depth, but the breadth of information. That's what's different about the Biology Olympiad. It goes over a whole area of curricula. It's not honed in on just one little area. And this is a poster that's developed for the students. They can start what's called a USA Biology Olympiad Club. On the student corner, there's a set of instructions to do that. There are some links to USABO clubs across the country where they can contact others and set it up. And this explains the tiers. The first tier being the open exam, which is February 11th, semifinal, which will be April 16th, third tier, which is the national finals, and we hope it's going to be in person, but we don't know. And that's open to 20 students. And then tier 4, these are the ones that actually were our Team USA and brought home the medals for us. And next year, the Olympiad International one is going to be in Lisbon. And they are looking at virtual as well as on-site. And this is a picture of 4 of our winners, all right, in Switzerland. The gentleman on the left there was first in the world. The gentleman next to him was second. Lee was third, the gentleman, and Catherine was 6th, all right? That's quite a thing for seeing your students. The gentleman on the left, all right, is working on the COVID right now in New York City on a research project. Nikhil, right next to him, has started 4 different businesses. All of his businesses are outreach to help those that are underserved. He's a very creative. He's written some books too that are being used as resources for writing algorithms and mathematical components. Next one is Li Ding. He's a specialist in neuroscience working out of Germany right now. Catherine didn't stay with the biology, all right. She decided that she was better as an accountant. So she's one of the CSA, right, a leading accountant right now. And she actually works for MasterCard. And this one shows you the friendships that these students, these are face-to-face friendships, Vietnam and all of our students over on the right. But this is one of the collegialities that you see. And when we did the International Biology Challenge this year, when it was virtual, that was one of the things that we were all worried about. How are these kids going to connect? Kids have a way, and they are connected like you would not believe. So they are back and forth all the time, helping each other, all right, go through all of these things. So we're very proud of them. So please visit us and register, have your students register at that particular site, DRC. Any questions?
So we have one question, Kathy. So what is the expectation of the teachers?
Teachers this year have less of an expectation than they've had previously. Previously, they were responsible for downloading exams, getting Scantrons together, forms together, all of that. That's all been automated. All right, they will no longer see the exam. The first time the exam will be public will be when those students are actually taking the exam. The forms for those students to complete about the honor code and for the teacher will be also at that particular time. We're allowing time for that. So that'll all be done online. The major thing that teachers can do is to help them if they do a USABO club, to help them prepare for it. Some teachers do it on a weekly basis. They do it through their science club, or they have a USABO club. But the big thing is to support those students going through this. And they're the best ones. They're right on contact with them. Any other questions?
And what grades are eligible for the USABO?
Grades 9 through 12. And by the way, we've had 9th graders go to the International Biology Olympiad and medal. That's something else you should know. Our students since 2003 have always medaled at the International Biology Olympiad, and twice we've been #1 in the world. Our kids, they're amazing. They're just amazing. Anything else?
That's it for right now.
Okay.
Thank you.
And these are our sponsors. We have an array of sponsors. If some of you know of someone that would like to sponsor the USABO, we'd welcome their participation as well.
Thank you both so very much, all three of you. Maite, would you mind sharing just a little bit, because I see we have on the call today some that I personally invited from universities, and I shared with them that you have an opportunity at RSI Institute to, at the seminar, to present about your college at a college fair. Would you mind sharing a little bit about how that works? There's some reciprocity there.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Judy. So the content of RSI that I shared with you includes in the guest lecture series what we say a college information night. This summer we had 15 colleges and universities throughout the United States join us on a Zoom evening where we gave each school their own Zoom room, and students were able to go and visit with admissions officers, ask them questions, whatever was on their mind. So it's a unique and interesting opportunity. When we're in person at MIT, we invite 2 other programs that are on campus that are in the same audience like RSI. They're all juniors. So that includes the MITES program at MIT that has been in session for nearly 85 years, and also the Women in Technology program. So we can do what's called traditional tabling when we're in person. We didn't want to lose that opportunity to have the colleges present and able to recruit the students and share with them what can happen at their particular institutions. And after it's all over, the colleges and universities are given a database with all the contact information for the students who attended from all 3 programs. So it helps in your recruitment efforts. Happy to join. There are never too many involved, in my view.
Thank you. Well, we've come to the end of our formal presentation, and the reason why we wanted you to be a part of this is to in part advise us on how to reach students who could benefit and contribute to these programs. If you could put that slide back up, Kathy, I would greatly appreciate it. We have been around, let's see, the RSI is 30 plus years, USABO 18 years. And as you can see, our students are doing extraordinarily well, but we are not doing extraordinarily well in getting all groups of students engaged in the programming. So we are particularly interested in reaching students who heretofore perhaps have not been aware of our programs or have not applied to our programs, underrepresented populations. And we're hoping you can advise us on that. How do we reach them? You might be thinking, as you were hearing Maite, Kathy, and Michelle speak, you might be thinking of, oh, this would be perfect for John, or Sally would really be a terrific candidate. Or there's a club, a student club that you might be willing to share the information with. Please advise us on that. We want to make sure that we reach more students, target them, and specifically, if you can give us their names and contact information, we want to say, you were recommended to us. Will you please join in October and participate in a sneak peek Zoom seminar? It would be approximately 2 hours in which they would get a feel for what RSI and USABO are about. So it would be an interactive session for them. We need your advice on when to do it in October. Should it be on a Tuesday afternoon at 4? I know school just doesn't look like it used to look. So I don't know if it should be Saturday morning, as I would typically recommend it be, or what have you. But we need you to tell us what would work best and who to invite, what students. And then would you be a partner with us in reaching out to those students? Would you help us to identify them, to continue to encourage them? We find that some students sometimes feel, I may be really good in biology, or I really like mathematics, but I just don't know if I'm good enough. And we want them to take that leap of faith, step out. We will provide the support and help them to apply and put their best foot forward. Those are the takeaways that we have for you. Our programs are cost-free to students, and we want more students, particularly from underrepresented groups, to apply and be engaged. And we need your advice on how to do that. Those are the takeaways, and you will receive this PowerPoint with our contact information after our webinar today. And I open the floor for any additional comments, questions, concerns.
We have one question. So who do they email the students' contact info to?
I would love for you to email that to me, and you'll get that in an email. I'll be sending out a thank you note to all of you. And so if you'll send it back to me, and I'll give you a CEE email address. Many of you have my personal email address because we've been in contact over the years, but you'll get one from CEE, and then you would get that directly to me. If that's in any way problematic in terms of confidentiality and privacy, we can send the invitation through you to the student for the October session.
And we have one other question. So can students do both USABO and RSI at the same time?
Maite?
I would
that's
love
you.
them to, but regrettably, we overlap in the summer. If they're chosen for Kathy and Michelle's session, where they're part of the national team, the 20, they would have to make a choice. And sure, they can take the exam if they would like to, but if they get chosen to attend RSI, we require you there for 6 weeks, whether virtual or in person.
And who can these lovely individuals reach out to if they have any further questions? Do they reach out to Judy directly, or can they reach out to one of the panelists?
They could reach out if they want to talk about RSI directly to me, and I would thank you and Kathy. And if they'd like to copy Judy, that would be fine. We can share amongst each other to make sure that we're doing this and answering whatever questions anyone has.
And I see there's one more question about would Judy be the contact if teachers have questions as well? Is that about the teacher enrichment program or about Research Science Institute and USABO?
It's about
Feel free to
USI.
unmute.
Yeah, sorry. It was for me. It was about the two programs specifically, the USABO and RSI, and if they have questions about what the requirements would be for students or anything regarding the programs.
You can contact any three of us for that.
If it's easier to just send the questions to me, I can certainly funnel them and get it back. And I'm also more than willing to put together a small group discussion if that would be helpful to the teachers.
So when will the key dates be populated on the CEE website?
I would say
populated.
You guys are ahead of me. You're ahead of me with your USABO being open. We can take care of that by the end of this month. And in regards to RSI, I need to check with MIT to see what is happening for the summer, but I've pretty much selected the dates. Traditionally, that's what we do. We can do that. If there are any other questions regarding dates, just reach out. And then I do see a question, Michelle, about how would a college or university get added to the college fair. Just get in touch with me. Happy to discuss it with you more thoroughly and happy to add you.
And Mr. Sauer runs a nonprofit for educational faculty bent upon getting kids interested in STEM. And then he wants some information on TEP, our teacher enrichment program, whenever this is finished.
We'll be happy to provide that.
And through the chat, I am sending out a link to the 2021 USABO calendar, which is available online on the USABO website.
Well, if there are no more questions, again, we want to honor your time. We booked an hour, but we don't have to do that if we have answered your questions, and we thank you again for listening and sharing your ideas with us. I will be following up with an email shortly, and again, feel free to contact Kathy, Maite, Michelle, or myself, and I can be the conduit if that's easiest. We are so excited to work with you and hope you will join on as a partner to help us reach more students to avail themselves of these free programs to take them to the next step in their academic journey. Thank you for your time. Have a wonderful afternoon. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Thank you all.
Hi, thank you for joining.